Hello everyone, good to see you all. Just having a little problem there. Should be okay now. What's the sound like? So, hello Darlene. Hello, P. Doyle. Good to see you, brother. Loyal supporter of the channel. You know, just trying to get things together a little bit, you know. It's amazing how many hours you can clock up when you get the likes of me and Artistage on the panel. 6, 7, 8 hours. Jesus. Goes fast. And you know it's, you know, you're having fun when it goes fast like that. Covering all the different subjects. I mean, I don't know what everyone thinks, but, you know, I seem to be grabbing a few subscribers I've never tried before, to be honest. I just set it up simply, obviously, to be able to use YouTube, and the StreamYard element was just the part to put on an odd live when no one else was on. That was it. And yeah, it's that's really what it's set up for. I always tell people don't expect too much from it. You know, there is some good videos that I've collected. You know, links through to them. You know, you can have a look. Different things I've found on YouTube. A few bits and pieces I like. Bits of music. One which is a really unique incident. Very, very rare. Where West Yorkshire Police caught somebody literally 200 yards from my house, and somebody that we know his dad, but yeah, he was getting kidnapped, in the process of being kidnapped, and he was so damn lucky, the little shit, that the police managed to get there for him. And it's very, very rare that that happens in the moment. And that's on there. That's a really very interesting few minutes. Yeah. So tonight, Doyle, what did you mean, mate? No, it didn't happen tonight. It's on one of my videos that's on the channel. I could probably get it up and put the link in, because that is literally, you know, in my backyard. We know his father, and obviously know him a little bit, but he's one of them that's full of shit, really. Let's be honest. Into all kinds of rubbish. And it's always about, you know, blagging mum and dad along. That's the way I see it. Yeah, I had a couple of conversations with him and passed him a bit of work once, and yeah, he did it, but I don't know, I just see him for what he is. Let's have a look. It might, I don't know, I might have had it as a closed video, but no, I don't think it is. Right, let's get the link for this. Okay, you can still hear me loud and clear? Because when I go and do something, often I come back and the sound's gone a bit funny. There you go, that's the link. Yeah, so that's there. That would be a little bit interesting. Have a lie down and watch a few of my vids. Yeah, most of the music, you know, that was just one of the really unique, interesting situations that ended up being on one of these programs, and you know, absolutely, I live about 200 yards from that, and the mother-in-law lives less than that. You know, she's that little cul-de-sac. She's at the back of that. Yeah, it's like unbelievable. The guy's very lucky, and he still tries running his luck all the time now. Just waste of space. So I don't know really what we're going to chat about tonight, who's going to come in, but you know, I do want to do something at some point where I explain what's going to go on in the future, because there's going to be a lot coming out on here which is totally exclusive about really sensitive subjects, and you have to be very careful about some of it. And also, I'm going to get somebody to start narrating a book at certain times. Hello, Bella Babes. Morning. That's not my channel, but there is a guest that uses that phrase, yeah. But it's still morning. Good morning. Squad, shanch! Lieutenant Dan. No, yeah. We're going to have to work a little jingle for me, because that belongs to Mr. Hostage, who's a very knowledgeable guy. Jesus. You know, he can put it out. Turbo, an absolute perfect name for him. Speedy. Turbo, you know. I mean, I thought it was quite funny the other day, because I was on a bit of one, and he was finding it difficult to get a word in edgeways with me, and that ain't normally my kind of forte. But I think when I get the bone, I'm running off with it. Simple as that. You know, it's like a dog with a bone. It's I'm off with it. But obviously, points and details are so important, and it gets lost a lot of the time where there's interruptions, bits and pieces, certain people trying to come in the back, private chat, ruining things and all the rest of it. Well, we've got ways of dealing with that, strategies, you know, from now on, because that's no good. You know, spoiling other people's streams. You know, Art has a hell of a lot of people coming in, subscribers. He holds a decent count even through the late hours, which is really good, and it's very interesting, bouncing from subject to subject. You know, it'd be nice if he popped in tonight. You know, it's up to him, but he might be resting, because he's had a bit of a hectic last week, and it kind of got a bit hectic with stupid stuff and certain people earlier on, yesterday morning. It's just, and this morning sort of thing. Sorry, not this morning, yesterday morning. But trying to establish an equilibrium, but you can't with certain sorts of people. They just believe their own lies and their own fantasies. So anyway, yeah, it's not. I mean, it kind of created a little bit recently, Bella, but you worked out a few strategies how to deal with that, and quite simple. And obviously, there's the deleting part, which is what's going to be happening as well. But people like Art, he's learning the process as much as myself. But we know other people who got bigger channels and more experience and how to use these various programs and stuff. So it's just about putting a bit of time aside to do that. But a lot of us can because we're on here gassing and pushing the narrative or the current events or whatever. And it can pretty much take over. Fortunately, at the moment, I'm not currently involved in any business or work, etc. All I'm doing is little bits of charitable stuff here and there, which I want to do a little bit with this channel. Just I'm sort of the ilk of wanting to help the individual. That's more, rather than an organisation or, going to a homeless shelter and dropping them off 200 quid's worth of food or whatever. Yeah, that's good. But I kind of like the idea of helping an individual, getting to know them a little bit, and then experiencing the changes and the good stuff that's happening with them. I think that's the way I'm going to go. And obviously, if they're happy with it, we can record some of that. And even if they don't show their face, I'm sure that'd be okay. But I do believe a repeat, continuation story of helping someone who's ended up in a certain situation for whatever reason. It can be very simple, can't it? Fall out with the missus, lost my job. It doesn't have to be alcoholism, drugs, in prison for 20 years, all that sort of stuff. It doesn't have to be that. There's loads of reasons. A lot of people are, a month away from being, back on their rent or their mortgage and stuff like that. You hear Art say certain stuff. I do know that's quite terrifying for some people, even people with real earning power and a lot of money behind them and all the rest of it. They're concerned because that they've ended up with a certain amount on their mortgage of a £450,000 property. They've done it that way because the mortgage rate was absolutely nothing. Very, very low. So why wouldn't you take advantage of it? But the best deals weren't the fixed deals. I was being told the other day. Obviously, I'm sort of aware of that, but I wasn't aware of certain person's exact position because it's none of my business until they say. So yeah, and I was sort of enlightened a bit about that, and yeah, it must be quite unsettling. Even though that person has some good power, and I do know he's got a bit behind him, but you have plans that are made, long, medium, short term. They go out the window when something like this happens, and it's just the start of it, really, isn't it? So he's in talking about me about a few strategies so he can get the bit that he owes paid off, because you know, he doesn't want that hanging over him, and that's what he's going to do. He's going to have to tighten his belt a bit. I don't think he'll lose the season ticket though. Season tickets that ain't going anywhere. But you know, if it means downgrading vehicle or losing one or something like that, do you know what I mean? Or, you know, not going on a certain trip or a holiday or something like that. That's what it's got to be, innit? Because at the end of the day, they kind of have you, don't they? These building societies, banks, things like that. If you've got their money, they've got you. Yeah, that's right. Oh, right. It's good to see you, brother. It's just updated all this chat. It wasn't even showing any before. Good to see you, mate. Is it loud? I'm amazed, because normally it's the other way. Now then, G. Johns, nice to see you. Halloween, eh? Gee. Do you know, it's been quite quiet for me. I was talking to someone about it earlier, and it's my son that was left at home dealing with the little critters coming round. Sure, he's really happy with that one. You know, from the year that he dressed up as a wolf, and as they come near our door, he's in the garden and he was coming out scaring them to death. They might not come this year, I'd say. Who knows? But anyway, he's there, and I don't think he wants to give the stash away that's there. You know what? You know, these ladies are like. You don't want kids walking away with a bad face. You'll end up with eggs on your window 10 minutes later. Oh yeah, I know, mate. I was just saying about some people, you know, like, it's going to be awful with the pets when it comes to bonfire night. They get bigger and bigger and bigger each year, the fireworks that they're getting in. They haven't got the capacity to, you know, to manage it correctly. They'll get an odd shipment here and there. It's pretty much like flipping drugs coming through. It's, you know, the Chinese will make them big and bad as hell. I mean, I was involved with someone one year. We opened a temporary shop doing the fireworks, and it's money for old rope. We sold out so quickly. We were trying to get more stock, and it was unbelievable. If you've got a decent size, you know, the sets with a good punch, you know, powerful ones, yeah, they go like hotcakes, even faster. It's like some of the ones we had, I was a bit surprised how powerful they were. And that was, God, that was about 2011. And the same guy does it every year now. And, you know, I talk to him occasionally. He does it every year. This particular firework, you know, temporary shop, wherever. And he says they're twice the size now, in a lot of respects, certain ones. And I can believe it, because I hear him from, you know, so that's awful for dogs, isn't it, Doyle? Tell me what you prefer to be called, P. Doyle, because P. Doyle's quite a bit of a funny one to, you know, deliver. There's a link if anyone wants to come on. I don't know whether they do, but it'd be nice to have a chat with someone. So any scoop in the States there, right? I'm sure something's going on. I mean, I'm amazed at that thing to do with Pelosi and the Hammer Man. You know, it's really funny, that one. They would have a ring of security, wouldn't they? A senator? Or some security. But I guess their house is like probably on par with the White House in size. So, it's not difficult to infiltrate somewhere like that. Considering there's probably only a handful of people there. We've got Mr. Doyle. I can see out back, my friend.
Hello, mate.
Nice to see you, mate. Nice to see you. Having a lie down, yeah?
Would you like to see my little friend?
Sorry, mate. I'll just have a quick look.
Yeah, Steve-O.
Oh, he's over there. Got his own chair. Go on. That's great.
I'll be in this position for 2 months.
So you're a bit laid up.
Bit laid up, yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. I think we're in the same boat, mate.
Heard that, yeah. It's kind of an echo. Yeah. It's heard you talking.
Yeah, it's not
You
great.
haven't got a buggered ankle by any chances as well, have you?
Pardon? Sorry, I couldn't hear that. I'll just turn this on a minute. Yeah, sorry, mate, I missed that.
There's a bit of an echo there. You haven't got a buggered up ankle as well, no?
I haven't got what? Right, I can hear you a bit better now. Go on then. Sorry, mate. Yeah, I couldn't hear that second. Right. Okay, I've got you. No, it's not like that for me, We'll have to have a chat sometime, and I'll explain. But no, it's not good being laid up, is it, mate? It's not good at all. So how long's that going to last you? A few months?
A couple of months.
Yeah, I shattered my ankle once.
There's a bit of an echo there. I'm going to turn it off. And try to
connect. Yeah. Is it one of them fiberglass ones, yeah?
I'm not sure.
It's when it goes really rock hard. They used to use plaster Paris, didn't they? But now it's like a fiberglass roll. Yeah. Well, years ago when I did mine, I broke right at the bottom of my leg near my ankle. I shattered it, and they said there was splinters of bone which they couldn't deal with off it. 5 splinters of bone. They said it was unusual. Anyway, they put the plaster Paris one on me. Well, I was into the motocross bikes, you see. So I wanted to fields with Burn. It's quite a trek to where we used to go. This little sort of hill hidden. So I said, "Oh, jump on the back. It'll be all right." So I was going up there. I was using my heel to do the gears. Yeah. I wouldn't go in flat out or anything like that. I'm on the Husqvarna 125, and we've gone up through these tracks and that. She's on the back, gets up there fine. puts a bite there, we have a little lie down, kiss and a cuddle, whatever. Anyway, it starts raining, doesn't it? Starts raining on the way back. So it disintegrated around my ankle.
Right.
So I went back to hospital, they did it again. Same thing. It went funny after I was in the bath.
Let me try this again, Cruz.
Eh?
I can hear two different conversations coming from. I'm just going to go out and back in.
Okay, mate, yeah. 'Cause it's a bit funny, isn't it? Yeah, right. Come up, brother. Of course I want you to come up. It'd be nice to have a few people on. It was a bit funny that I couldn't really hear him, and then I didn't know where he could hear me. It was a bit strange. That's not great. But no, nice to see him come up. He'll come up in a second. We'll get it sorted. Try again. You need to behave right. Yeah. I think he does. There we go, mate.
That's better. Yeah, that's better.
Ah, that's better. God, that was a bit frustrating then. I hated to keep asking you to repeat yourself.
Fuck it, it's the same again. Bollocks.
No, it ain't. That's better, that. Is that not better?
No, it's the same.
Oh, I don't know why.
Yeah.
So you laid up for a few months then?
If I say something there, you'll hear it twice, you know.
Ah, wait a minute. Let's see if it might be something to do with me,
Or 5 seconds later.
Wait a minute. Let's have a look. Is it anything to do with me? I don't think it is. Have you got any tabs open? Or have you got any tabs open anywhere? Oh, he's dropped out again. Think he might have a tab open somewhere. Yeah, I believe so. Okay, mate. Well, we can give it a try again. I've just checked all mine and there's nothing open. It's just a bit bizarre, that one. I don't get it. Ba-dum-bum-bum. I'll put the link up again because Wright said he wants to come in as well. And there's Buy Me Coffee link as well to help the stream. nothing for me. It's just I'm gonna have to get StreamYards Unlimited. So have you paramates with ankle injuries? Ex-paras? No, not as such. I do know someone who'd bust both of his legs and his hip all in one go, but it wasn't so much ankles really. But yeah, you, often that is common injury, I think, with that. But no, I don't know anyone that has. Rodriguez Rimmer, howdy all, fellow vet. Okay, good to see you. I'm not personally a veteran as such. I've been in war zones, but not you know, as a veteran. I worked in the private security contracting for a number of companies, all different places. But probably my most common experience that people know was when I was quite young with the Red Cross in Bosnia.
Hey, Mr. Two
Hey, right,
Pools.
good to
How
see
you
you.
doing?
Not bad.
Sounding
You?
good.
Yeah, I just thought I'd put this on, a bit bored and beat up at all different sort of hours and felt okay, so I thought I'd do it. Nice to see you anyway. What you been up to?
Well, I just got done talking to Frosty. We're talking about what's going to happen and later on, in the United States, and we're trying to decipher it, to make sure that we're right. What's
Yeah.
going to happen. So, you know me, I'm
Hey,
just an
Belly
activist.
Babes, thank you for coming in. Sorry to interrupt you, right? Thank you for coming in and get your 4 hours. That's basically what I have at the time. So you're a tantric sleeper as well. Ronaldo, the footballer, is. Few hours here, few hours there. And believe it or not, a lot of people really do that. And it works. But anyway, nice to have had you, Bella. See you again. Take care.
Oh, she taking off? See you, Bella.
Yeah,
Nice
yeah,
talking.
she wants to go. She needs to go and have a little bit of sleep. But Doyle, if you want to come in again, let's do it. We should be okay, I think. If you need the link, tell me, and if you haven't already got it. But no, so you've been you're really on the button with this, aren't you? Right?
Yeah. I'm trying to make sure before I say anything that we're right on what's going to happen to us all. And it's not just going to happen in America; it's going to happen all over the country.
Oh, of course, yeah. This
You know.
is the big plan, isn't it?
Yeah.
I I'm not got my eyes closed or anything, but you know what I mean. You seem to be extremely on the pulse, more than most. I mean, I do, watch, keep my eye on it, learn, and I do have an understanding of what's sort of going on. But as you know yourself, these things really need keeping an eye on. If especially with what's gone on in recent times. I think you're the man for that, I believe.
Well, can I be a little bit direct here in front of everybody to wake them up a little bit?
Of course you can.
Okay. In case you people don't know, your governments, and I'm saying governments, I'm talking about UK, United States, and other governments, France, Germany, they don't give a shit about you. They're out to eradicate you. They don't want you around anymore because of the new Green Deal. The methane gas, the burps, the farts. So do what you can. My suggestion right now is try to be self-efficient away from the government, starting with buying food, as much food as you can, vitamins. Try to get pet milk, evaporator milk, anything you possibly can. Try to buy seeds for next year so you can grow a garden. It's going to be hell, people. I'm not lying to you. They're doing this purposely. They're destroying the American dollar.
Yeah.
And again,
Oh, that currency thing's crazy, isn't it?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah, it is.
That is really how they really start that, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
you know, you look at the other countries that, you know, I mean, you know, your Venezuela's, your, you know, what was the other one? God, the European, can't think of what it was offhand. The one they did first. I can't think of it. In Europe, they melted down the currency, and I can't think of it. It wasn't that long ago, 4 or 5 years ago.
4 or 5 years ago.
I can't think of it. Fucking hell, my brain's gone numb.
There's a lot doing it now. There's a lot of people. I don't know who it would be.
It was the country. The country they started melting down.
Trying to figure. Not Africa.
No,
Indonesia.
no, it wasn't no African country. It was in
Indonesia. India.
in Europe. It's like it was like really one of the first ones. I can't think what it's called. Oh, what is it, man?
Well, anyway, what you're thinking there, our money right now, the United States, there is no gold to back up our money anymore. There's nothing tangible. So therefore, our money is getting weaker, a lot weaker.
That was it there. The money goes weak, and you can't hardly get a loaf of bread for bloody $20 or something daft.
Exactly. Yeah. And this is what they want. They want control over us. What they want to do eventually to get out of this mess a little bit, people are going to start screaming at the government and saying, what are you going to do about it? We're starving over here. Well, they're going to come out with this new thing called CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. And what it is what you're using right now. You swipe your phone on a processing to do a transfer of money. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to totally take your money, your paper money. They're going to ask you to give it to the bank. They're going to put it digitally on a computer, and you're going to be working on digital currency. Now, if the money's no good paper-wise, why is it good on digital? For the simple reason they want control. If they want to stop you at any transaction, they can do it. If you have too much candy you're eating, they'll stop you. If you have too much milk you're drinking, they'll stop you. If you do something wrong to the government's eyes, they'll stop you with your transaction. You'll starve. Total control. This is what they're going to do. This is what we deciphered.
I mean, there was talk of it some time ago where they were wanting to put the chip in under your skin, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to come up. What they're going to doing the swipe first, the phone, cell phone.
Yeah, that's probably the quickest route for them to do that, isn't it?
Right, they do things slowly. And they're doing it now in Silicon Valley, over here in California. They have these young kids testing it out on pop machines and snack machines, opening up doors. Oh, this is cool. This is really cool. Well, they got a tracker on there to track you anywhere you want to go. And it's bullshit. Now, who tracks these people who thought of this? No one does. So what's going to happen is the poor is going to be in the reign of the government, and the government's going to have free access to do what they want to do, fly, eat. And that's another deal, too. They're coming up with bugs. They want you to eat bugs as soon as they get rid of the meat. So this is all in the plan. This is all in the works.
Sorry, mate, I had to mute it then because I had a load of noise behind me. But yeah, they have had that plan for a hell of a long time, haven't they?
Yes. Yeah, this has been going on like a chessboard. And eventually it's going to be checkmate on us.
I think the one under the skin, I think, was a bit too hard to implement immediately, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, as quick as they, because they actually developed that technology, didn't they?
Yep, it's in there in Silicon.
Made it, I know all about that. Developed it, made it the whole thing, and you know, it was powerful enough to store plenty of stuff, you know, to basically hold against you in the long run, isn't it? And you know, that's basically what it would be doing, using that information against you at some point if
Exactly.
you didn't follow the narrative they want you to follow.
Mm-hmm.
Or you know, if you're right, you'd be cut off first. I'd have to feed you, wouldn't I? Do you know what I mean? That would be it. Because of your political stance and you being strong, that would you'd be one of the first that would get affected by something like that, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, they'll come after me. There's no doubt.
So
I don't care. My age, I could care less.
you'd never let them put it under your skin anyway.
No.
But say if they want to try and close everyone down, they realise that was really a very difficult thing to implement. You'd get a certain amount of the population that are just walking like sheep, yeah? You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
and let the shepherd put the bloody thing under the skin. You know, there'd be a certain amount of the population just do that. But then it's the other part. They know that ain't going to be easy. So the phone option has to be the way forward in their mind, you know, to try and trick people into that particular realm, and then they start taking away other forms of payment, stuff like that. And it's just the control, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Well, I have a good one now. Now you know what TSA is over here in America. They have those security guards. They check you before you go on flights. You know, you go through a scanner and they check your luggage and they check your whatever. They check everything. Well, they're
Yeah.
not happy with that anymore with the TSA security guards at the airports. Now, what they want to do on May 3rd of 2023 for domestic flights only, you have to get a ID, and it's called Real ID, REAL ID, and it's got to have a star on there on the corner. If you don't get this ID, you don't fly.
Really?
Yeah, it's called Real ID. They can check it out on YouTube or
So
Google.
they clip it, in a sense, that's clipping your wings, isn't it?
Yep.
You know, your availability to, you know, go wherever you want. You know, it used to be just a passport, didn't it? You know,
hmm
you could go wherever if you had a passport. If it was a country that needed a visa, blah blah blah. You had them things, you were fine. But now there's this other thing.
Yep. And they're slowly taking our freedom away. Now look at you. I don't. So you don't live in UK, do you?
Is that just internal America, or is that worldwide?
So far, it's in America right now. They're going to implement it
Yeah,
here.
that's see what I mean. I bloody know what a bloody smart ass I am. It's like that's how they start implementing it, innit?
hmm If it works over here,
It'll be
they'll do it someplace else.
country-wide first of all, and then it'll be other cooperating countries, and then it'll be, oh, well, the rest of the world have got it. You're just the ones that haven't, and it's
Right.
kind of a pressure thing to get them countries that didn't do it originally to do it, and they've achieved their goal, haven't they?
Yep. That's what they want.
And it's like that creepy, you know, they creep along bit by bit.
Well, to put
You
it this
know,
way, in one certain simple terms, either you obey or you get eradicated. That's
yeah,
it. No more.
I mean, that's what things like the Tavistock Institute were all about. It was like how to get the population to do what they wanted you to do. Now, first of all, countrywide, European-wide, worldwide, the whole thing. And say that particular institute, that was not just for the UK, that was, you know, an organisation which was about this one world government thing, wasn't it?
Yep.
That was their end goal. I mean, it was a follow-on from, you know, the Third Reich, and about the Fourth Reich. And then it's like 400 years they've been pushing this one world government, isn't it?
Yep. Yep.
400 years. I mean, when I learnt that, it makes you realise, you know, this is real generation. You know, generations is what that flipping 5 generations, maybe 6. You know, nobody lives. Not many live to 100. So, you know, you could say 5 generations. Yeah,
Oh yeah, easily.
that's a
Easily.
5 generational plan. And actually, to take about maybe, you know, say 6 or whatever before they want that implemented fully. And believe me, they're on the way, aren't they?
hmm They're waiting for the technology to come in, the computers, to do all this. Now they have the technology. They can pinpoint anybody at any time, any given time.
Oh
This is what they
yeah,
want.
I'm quite aware of
Yep.
how they can use these various things. You know, people think, oh, they turn the phone off and that's it. Oh, that doesn't matter. But, you know, like you know, when your phone says your battery's dead, it's a load of bullshit.
They still got a little bit of charge into it, like your
Phone,
computer
but
does.
internally the phone has
A battery backup.
internally the phone has a structure.
Mm.
Yeah, battery backup. Yeah,
Mhm.
and people think, oh well, where's the, they'll open the phone or something. Where's the battery? But what it is it's a cell that's actually part of the gubbins of the phone, isn't it? It
Mm.
doesn't appear like a battery at all. It might be like a little sort of a little device or a little what they call them,
Capacitors.
TZMs, yeah, capacitors and things,
Mhm.
something like that, disguised, and it will be a battery which will be the most powerful you can get of that size,
Well,
and that's put
well,
in there, isn't it?
well, I'll tell you right now what they're doing to me, and I can prove it. Uh, when I talk on my phone now, or if I'm on YouTube, they got me on camera on my phone. They're watching me. It says right on there, camera. It pops up real fast. You don't see it, and that green light comes on. So they're watching me every time I talk.
Yeah, I've got it. I've got it on myself.
Yeah. So I put they can hear my voice, but they can't see my face. I put black magic on the green dots. You know what I mean? There's 3 of them on there,
Yeah,
so they
what
can hear
I
me.
do is I put a sticker over my camera.
Hmm.
I've got a little sticker, and I have it on the back of my phone, and I put it on my camera at certain times. That's something that I've got on my tablet as well. Just a little sticker at the side, and because I've had a number of phones, and at certain times when I'm dealing with certain people, things were happening. I had one, which is actually I had two Sonys, yeah, one after another, and they're Xperias, and I've been in contact with somebody who's pretty damn, you know, uh, well known, lot of different involved a lot of different sort of organisations, theories, um, proved a lot of things, etc., etc. And after that, I got a thing called a molten download. In the UK, there's a place that takes like routes your calls in an area, and it's just near York, and they can put calls through. They're all logged and recorded anyway, everybody's, and if something flags up, they go through a different thing, and it's like a called Filingdales, and it's what really the special relationship was about between America and England. It wasn't really just the World War II thing. It was about England having the technology to listen in worldwide. Not just mobiles. It was mobiles weren't really invented then. This is late '60s. It was all landlines worldwide, and that's what the special relationship was really cemented on. Anyway, I gets this thing, and it's called a molten download, and it downloaded everything off my phone, and my battery is charged. Next minute, it's dead. Yeah, and then that went on again, and then a lady rings me and said, um, not to worry. We're just checking up on people's numbers. She asked me a couple of questions, and then it was like, oh no, it's quite a standard thing, blah, blah, blah. And I checked the number, and it was Malta, New York. And it's the place where they route these numbers. Well, anyway, went on a bit. I had another one of them. It absolutely takes over your phone, sort of thing. And had another one of them, and then literally 2 days after, I'd had a WhatsApp with a girl who's really controversial from Edinburgh, and a lot of stuff was happening to her, which was really unfair and all documented. It's on some other channels if you want to look. And next thing you know, boom, my phone's dead. It wouldn't start up. Turn it on, and it would go. It wouldn't load anything to do with me. It was all gone, and it would turn on, and it would say, I'm trying to think what it say. Um, uh, Need to reboot or something like that. It was saying like that for ages. Just turn it on, and it wouldn't do the next steps. and you couldn't do anything with it. Absolutely dead. Took it to the phone shop, said, well, what's to do with this? And he said, oh, this is really interesting. I said, what do you mean really interesting? He said, well, when this number rings, he said, it puts a bug into your phone which we can't do anything about. So anyway, so they took the phone, cancelled it, got me another one because it was a contract phone. Got me another one. Boom. While goes by, same thing happens. Exactly the same things. Bam, bam, bam. Downloaded, dead. Couldn't turn it on. So anyway, gets another phone, totally different make, Huawei, the Chinese one. Has it for about 2 years. Starts having a few calls with a chap called Miles Johnson. Very controversial. He can't put his videos on YouTube now. They're on there for about the first 20 seconds, and he has to send them to BitChute. Anyway, he's done a lot of great work, and he wanted me on the podcast loads of times, but I'm very cagey about certain aspects to do with what's gone on, what I know. And same thing happens on that phone. And it's what the hell? Do you know what I mean? It's like you lose everything. I lost a lot of stuff as much as anything, but it's like they're messing with you. And it's the same thing. They send this thing to you. It's like done with beeps, dot stashes, whatever. But it always happens. Seems to happen when the phone hasn't been touched for about an hour or so. You might be. They think you're asleep or whatever. It doesn't matter what time of day it is, and damn, it goes through your phone and that's it. It just zaps it.
Yeah, it's not really your phone anymore,
No, and I realise that that's likely to happen. So they need to do that. They need your phone to be on a network. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. They sure do.
So it needs to be on a phone network. And obviously they cross-reference it with Google and stuff like that, don't they? Well,
Yes.
the phone I'm using now isn't on any network. No SIM card, yeah?
Yep.
This phone is just an internet phone. It's an iPhone, but it's got no SIM card. So they can't ring me. I got this on really good advice from a chap who had a whole 120 US Marines looking after him. Now, whether you agree with the work he was doing in Iraq or not, I don't know, but he was involved in communications, and I do think it was a bit fishy. But he was at the top of his game, and he gave me the advice. He says, don't put it on a network. Don't put a SIM card in it. Don't have a contract phone. Don't have an IMEI number, because they need that and a line to contact you to send the stuff. Yeah?
Yep.
As goes for it over the internet. You think, oh, they'll be able to do it over the internet, but it's actually a lot more difficult for them to do it over your. You've got to click on a link or etc. etc. And I've had loads sent to me. I just don't click on them. But yeah, if you haven't got the SIM card in, it isn't a registered phone, and you ain't got an IMEI number, they can't do what they were doing, and it ain't happened ever since. I've got a phone that I use for calls and a phone that I use for internet.
I like to tell people a little about myself here to understand what
Sorry,
I'm.
right? So I was gabbling on there, but I wanted to
good.
explain that quite well because,
Yeah, it's all right.
that's what was happening regular. But anyway, right, shit, go on. Explain a lot about yourself and where you've been and how you've got to this point.
Okay. Well, I'm from Michigan. I'm in the States. You probably already know by the sounds of my voice. I went through the steps in life, graduated through high school, went through the military. I didn't go to war. However, I did go overseas. I was a 2-year man. I came out with an honorable discharge. I was a two-striper called Specialist 4. MOS 13 Bravo, which is Cannon Cocker, 105 howitzers. Come out of the service, went into college, learned a trade in heating and cooling. Went to a trade school after college and learned heating and cooling. My specialist is boilers, hydronics, electrical, plumbing, all that stuff. As I started growing up, I started noticing that when I left the military, they asked me to resign, and I told them no because of the politics. After I got in the civilian world 10 years later, the politics started hitting the United States. I could see the signs coming. And I knew something was wrong, and I wasn't quite sure what it was until a gentleman called Mr. Guru talked to me. We argued back and forth like crazy, and come to find out he was right. I started checking into his statements, and everything started waking up that the government just doesn't give a shit about us. We've been used, punked. All we are is a paycheck to them to get money. And what they do is they take the money from us and give it to them and their friends. I am not anti-American. I'm anti-government for what they're doing to us American people. I love American people. If I didn't, I wouldn't have went in the service. And this is my standpoint. When you go to my site one of these days, if you ever do Rights for Vets, it's going to be boring if you don't understand politics. So don't even go and watch it. It wouldn't even help you out at all. The people who are interested and know about politics a little bit and want to understand what's going on and what's going to happen to them, go to my site. But do me a favor, do not subscribe, do not do no thumbs up. Just go through my films, videos. Some are good, some are boring, but it all has education to it. There's a reason for they're out there. That's all I ask. Just I need people who want to learn to survive as much as they can. And the best thing you can do right now, like it says, get off the grid, get away from government. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. Go on YouTube, learn how to survive in case they take away your gas, natural gas, your cars, and learn how to survive without the government. It's bad enough they're tearing the daylights out of our children right now. This woke stuff, transgender, at an early age, and it's rotten. They don't teach math, history, and they're doing it purposely. They want zombies, morons. Adolf Hitler did that to his kids. He wanted domination. He wanted the kids to learn his way of thinking, to obey Hitler. And it came right around again. History's repeating itself. But the only difference is this is not just going to be Hitler. This is going to be a worldwide thing, world order. And it's coming down. Now you'll have two choices, either obey or just leave this world. I don't say kill yourself. What I'm saying, do the best you can without the government, because they're not going to do nothing for you. Now I'm 71 years old, and I've seen a lot in my time. I'm a baby boomer, and I've seen a lot. I've seen when America was good, free. I can leave your doors open. There's hardly any crime at all. And if there was a crime, they prosecute the person heavily. You don't see that anymore. They're letting them go. This is all done by design. They're doing it purposely to destroy America. They talk about race, black, yellow, Asians, red. No, we're Americans here. It's not the color of the skin. If you don't like the person, it's the person himself you don't like. It's not the color of the skin. The color of the skin has nothing to do with the person. But yet, every news article is always black or white supremacy or something. This is a way to divide America. And it's happening. You divide a country, it will go down. And it's going down now. Now we got till next year, 2023, to decide what we want to do to protect ourselves. Believe me, the Democrats and Republicans are the same people. Though one is aggressive, a little bit stronger like the Democrats versus Republicans. If the Republicans do get in this, get power over the House and the Senate, there's still no guarantee that they're going to help us out because Biden can always veto the bills. However, the House will have the purse, meaning they'll have the power to give money where they want to. They can stop Biden for spending like crazy, but we'll see how it works. But the inedible down the road is going to be the same. We are going to be taken over. Our military is so depleted right now. We couldn't fight China if we had to, or Russia. Our oil supply is down. We have no ammunition. This is all done purposely. We couldn't find ourselves a 2 camel person riding down the desert right now. We're so bad off. And if you think I'm lying, check it out yourselves. Go on there, too cool. Sometime.
No, man, that's cool as hell. You know what I mean? It's you've got that right across. I mean, I'm sub to you, yeah, but you know what I mean. I guess you know, you just want to get your point across, you know, in about that view. But I suppose people make their own choices. But if you believe that it's that close for people, you know, just for being on your channel, that is pretty damn hot, if you ask me. You know, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people pushing, you know, saying a lot of things on YouTube, internet, whatever. I don't think yours is over strong or, you know, bad in any way. It's just the point, and you're in touch with it. You know, and I have noticed that you kind of have it very current. So, yeah. Do you think that Pelosi thing was a false, you know, is like kind of made up somehow?
You really
Or
wanted
what?
me to tell you the truth?
Yeah, go on.
Okay. No, it wasn't a hoax. It was not a hoax at all. And I'll tell you what happened to it. Backfired on her. They're allowing these illegals to come on in, and they're getting free everything. Getting our Social Security. They're getting motels, 4 or 5 star motels ratings. They're getting cell phones. They're getting free food, free education, everything free. They're trying to buy votes. Now, New York tried to get the illegals to vote, but the judges stopped it. They vetoed it. Said no, they cannot vote. They're not American citizens. They're trying to pay off voters. What they're doing. But the Nancy Pelosi's thing is, when you talk to Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, or Biden, there's nothing wrong with the borders. The borders are doing okay as they're coming in by the million caravans of people. So what happened was a guy from Canada come on down, who was a nutcase, illegally came in here and went after Nancy Pelosi, broke into her house. But Paul, her husband, was there, and Nancy Pelosi, and they got a big confrontation. So what happened was because all these illegals coming in and not being checked out to find out who they are, with the fentanyl coming in here, killing our kids, that it backfired on her because she never expected anybody to walk in her house like this guy did. I mean, he actually busted down the door almost and went after Paul. When he went after Paul Pelosi, he asked, "Where is your wife at? Where's your wife at? I'll wait for her. I'll wait for her." Well, apparently, what he did when he heard the crash, he pressed an alarm system, and the cops go on over. And as they were fighting with a hammer, the cops grabbed a hold of the guy, but he nailed Paul Pelosi pretty good, where he had to have surgery. He had a concussion, but it backfired on her on this illegal shit. Now, because of it, she's going to have protection under the taxpayers' money, and everybody else is going to have it, all the Congress people. But yet, they want to get rid of our guns so we can't protect ourselves. And the only ones who are going to have guns, as you already know, is going to be the criminals because they're never in the system and they can shoot people. They're letting these criminals come on out. They can kill, rape, murder. The DA, district attorney, which is paid by George Soros, allows these people to get processed in the police station and come right out again without any bail money. And they're already out on the street again. So this is all happening in design. They're doing this purposely. This is not Americanized, you know. Over 1,200,000 women from 2019 to 2021 have bought firearms, and I bless their heart for it. The only thing that the Democrats right now have anything to go on is Wade versus Roe. It's not about what's going to happen in the future. This is the only thing they have to go by. They already screwed up the economy, our gas, diesel fuel. You heard about diesel fuel, didn't you? Too cools. Hope you didn't pass out.
Pardon?
Okay. I just want to make sure you're still there. The diesel, we're going to have diesel
Interesting.
shortage in 18 days. Now, I have that on my video. They watched that. I had it when I seen it was 25 days. It should be
18 days.
18 days. We're not going to have any diesel left. Nothing. We're done. So that means that the truckers are not going to move. The trains are not going to move. Nothing's going to move food shortage.
Is that
And they
so?
and they can see
18
that in my
days?
video. Yeah, I got it on my video, So yeah, they want to see that. 25 days when I first put it out there. So it's 18 days now. And I
So when
haven't
you
heard
look
anything.
at it like that, that really its own, doesn't it?
Yeah,
If you look at it in that respect, freaking hell.
it's going to be depleted. So that's it. Nothing runs. That's it. We're done.
Everybody put in the chat what you think to that particular comment, because that makes it hit home practically, politically, you know, that stops it all, doesn't it?
Yep.
18 days, right?
18 days right now. Yeah. They said so far. Yeah. And diesel. Yeah. And I have it on the video if they want to see it. I have proof of it.
Why am I going to fall asleep listening to this, mate? Fucking hell. Jesus, 18 days. That's
Yeah,
mental.
In America. Yeah. I don't know about UK, but in America. Yeah.
I do remember a bit. It wasn't long ago, maybe last month, a little bit. They were trying to get a supply, weren't they? From somewhere. Like I don't know what was it. They were trying to buy up. Oh God, what was it? It's like I think it was one of the Arab Emirates. They were trying to buy up their kind of reserves and their stock, weren't they? Last month, there was some talk about like they were trying to do a deal to buy a load of reserves from somewhere like Kuwait or somewhere like that, and that was America doing it via a whatever gas and oil company, and they were trying to get the reserves and do a deal, but I don't know whether it happened.
Well, here's the deal with that.
That and what you've just said.
Okay, here's the deal with that. We had over 750 million, 750 gallons of crude oil reserves, and that's for the military. Now, these people are so desperate not to lose their power, their greed. They started taking our oil reserves and putting it to gas pumps, so the gas would go down to make it look good. All right. Now, meanwhile, where they're taking the reserves, now we're down to 350 million gallons of crude oil. They're also giving that oil to China.
Giving it to China?
Yeah, and China. That's the truth. Yeah, it's out there.
How and why?
We don't know yet.
Explain to me. You know, I'm going to ask all this.
Okay, the only thing I can think of why they're doing this, because China gets everything. We are dependent on China. We're dependent on China with prescriptions, pharmaceutical.
Oh, yeah, they boxed it off, haven't they, really? Let's be honest. They boxed it right off with everything.
But since Joe Biden and his son made deals with China, China's got something on Joe Biden. So whatever China wants, China gets. Because if China doesn't get it, just like OPEC, when Biden went over to try to get the oil in Saudi Arabia, they told him, no, stick it up your ass. You're not getting it. And Biden was shocked. But what Biden tried to do, he told Saudi Arabia, OPEC, to keep it quiet, don't tell American people until after the elections. Then say you can't give us the oil. Well, Saudi Arabia snitched on him and told the newspapers here what was going on. That Biden didn't want American people to know that they weren't getting the oil until after the elections. This is how bad it's getting here.
Jesus. So, like when you look at it from, say, a perspective of, someone like Epstein, yeah? When he was getting politicians in a certain position and recording it secretly, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Those sort of things kind of make a lot of sense when, say, somewhere like China has something over a very powerful person, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether it's that with Biden, but do you know what I mean? It's like those sort of things, you realise the real value in them, especially when they're cornering powerful people. Imagine if Biden been caught like, for argument's sake, pants down or something like that, and then China's bought the, the tape, the information, whatever. Yeah, it's like they've got you by the short and curlies, haven't they?
Yeah, they do right now. Yeah, but it's up to American people to do what they got to do. They still have the right to vote. If they vote correctly, even if they get the Republicans in there, which is
Don't
okay.
they?
And what
Yeah, but don't they fix it if it in the way they want it?
they did last time. I don't think they can do it this time. People are watching too. Because
Because that's what
American
I
people.
thought. I thought that was what happened before.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I
It
didn't
was.
like that. I fucking Trump. Yeah, whatever anyone says. Yeah, at least he got some stuff done, and he wouldn't take no bullshit off. You know, the other countries. He was telling them you've got to pay. You've been getting away with this for so long. Blah blah blah. He had a bit of stick about him, didn't he?
Yeah. He did. Well, the only problem he had people below him that were rogue. That was under Obama's administration, and he trusted them people, and the people were backstabbing him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he came into administration that wasn't his people, but it was Obama's people. Obama fucked up this America bad. He did. He screwed it up bad. And everybody believed him because, he's black. You got to vote for president. He's black. And they did. And he fucked
They
it up
made
bad.
so much out of that, didn't they?
Oh, they sure did. It was just a
Fucking
joke.
hell.
And I laughed my
It
ass
was a
off.
milestone in some ways for some people, but I get that. But it was made to be something absolutely just over the goddamn top, and it was like what he did kind of became less important, didn't it? In a way, I know it's important, but do you know what I mean? Like it become more about him, sort of thing, and his race and all this stuff, and America moving forward and all this kind of thing. And it was like the rest of it. I think. Do you know what he'd be remembered for? The fucking fake Bin Laden raid. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
I
what he'd
do.
be remembered for, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely is what he's remembered for.
The
It's
fake
just,
Bin Laden raid with the Hollywood SEALs.
I know what works because I am 31 years old. I've seen how America did work, and it was never broke, but they broke it for us. But I'll tell you something, and this is no lie. If any gentleman comes up to me and tells me, well, you're prejudiced, I'm going to say, no, I just don't like your freaking attitude. That's the whole point. It's not your skin. Your skin ain't hurting me. It's you. It's your attitude. You bore me. Get out of here. I'm not playing that race game with me. No way. I'll accept anybody as long as they treat me the way I be treated them. And that's just the way I am. And that's the way I'll always be.
Yeah, it's
This
amazing now.
and people buy into it, because of Obama's bullshit. Now, guess what? What happened today? What's been going on?
Go on.
No, Joe Biden, he's been hiding in the basement again, just like he did the last election. You know who's taking his place in campaigning? Obama.
Never.
Yep. Obama went to Georgia, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, my place, Saturday. Nowhere's Biden at all. He's hiding because he can't think anymore. So Obama's taking his place, and Obama's loving it.
Oh God, you know why? Because obviously Trump was against him and the Bushes. Did you see that when it was Bush Senior's funeral? And they're all in there, and there was 2 Secret Service agents behind Bush Jr. And they all got handed an envelope, a white envelope. Did you see that?
No, I did. No, I
At
did
Bush
not.
Senior's funeral, you didn't see that?
No, I did not. I really didn't.
Wow, come on.
What happened?
That was unbelievable. It was, and they read it, and Jeb Bush, the Bush's other son, yeah, read it, and you should have seen his fucking face. And they all got taken, didn't they, by the Secret Service after the funeral? And it was Trump's doing, and it was a court martial. It was basically the letter that says after this event you'll be going with the Secret Service, blah blah blah, regarding an interview with a view to being charged and having a court martial.
Whoa.
Didn't you see that? Wow.
No, I didn't. I did not see that. I'm sorry. I probably was at the store or something. But yeah.
Put Bush Senior, George Bush Senior's funeral and the letters. God, that went on for ages, that did. And yeah, it was so interesting, and their reactions, and Bush Jr., George, you should have seen his freaking face. They knew they were in the shit, but somehow, or for some reason, I believe they kind of wiggled, or some. It wouldn't. It, you know, like the what's in. That's why the what they called the Jesuits, or whatever they called the Jed. You know them, what they called the Jesuits or something like that.
Jesuits?
Yeah, them.
Jesuits. I can't
That's
remember.
why they turned up, and there was a picture taken around Trump's table, wasn't there, in the White House? Do you remember?
I remember that. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Well, that's why they
Mhm.
turned up, because of this thing. What Trump was trying to do when these letters got served on him at the Bush Senior funeral. It was absolutely unbelievable. The video to it, and you know, God, what? But yes, somehow I believe he got them in. You know, he got them into what they call it, where they're locked down wherever they went, or in their own properties or something like that. And that happened for a while, and then they were going to have to go to Gitmo for a court martial, and I believe it was only Bush and Obama that ended up getting served. I think Jed got served, you know, like where it went to the next stage, something like that. Obama's wife got away with it. I think Obama got away with it in the end, but it was only the Bushes, and it was regarding 9/11. Yeah, I
Well,
think that was the main kind of sort of charge to do with 9/11. But it was worded in such a way, because there was commentators that actually got a copy of the letter. It was worded in such a way that it didn't say that, but it said events, you know, leading to American deaths, blah blah blah. Certain people complicit in it and responsible. All the rest of it, court martial will be served, and it was the Bushes that went to the next stage. But somehow, it kind of didn't work out how Trump wanted it to, and that's why I really admired him for that, as much as anything. I'm amazed you didn't see that one or know that one. Well, it didn't go anywhere in the end, but he had a good fucking go.
well, George Bush screwed us bad in America when
Well,
we had that
exactly, and
9.
that's what Trump was trying to get him court martial for, and then, you know, go to Gitmo for a court martial because of this. What you're going to say now? Explain exactly what you think he did.
Well, that 9/11 happened. As far as I'm concerned, that was a farce. There's a lot to it. I really don't want to get you striked, so I won't say nothing about that much. But um, when that happened, George Bush, I'll never forget that, because I was downstairs working on the furnace. I come upstairs and I'm looking at the lady looking at the TV. And I'm looking at the TV with her, and I says, I don't remember this movie. She says, it's not a movie, it's real. I said, it's real? And you can see the jets going through the towers. Well, this is all done by design. This is done purposely. So Trump could put in the Patriot Act. So we would lose all our freedoms. Now, the FBI, CIA are listening in our phones, listening into our conversations in the cars. Any communication they can hear, they're allowed to do it without due process. And they're doing it just because of Bush. And Bush did this purposely. They wanted that Patriot Act, well, I'll come in. And when he did that, that was it. Now they can go into any information. There's no such thing as HIPAA law. Medical, it's where you can't, find a person's medical at all. Well, they can do it now. If you join the military, as of right now, I hope nobody joins the military. I'm seriously, unless they go and get a good career. But don't go in the front lines. Don't be our hero. Because I'll tell you what, if you get hit, you get handicapped, your VA, Veterans Administration, hospitals will not do a damn thing for you. Well, they'll pay you your benefits. You're going to have to fight for it. But they're not going to do nothing for you. They're not going to give you no handicap, house, nothing. You're done. That's it. They could care less about you. And you won't get proper medical care because it's a third world country, the way they run that hospital. They don't care. They're the second largest entity. $220 billion they pay a year right now for 175 VA hospitals throughout America, and it ain't run worth a shit. And I know that. I've been through it for
Do you
14
think
years.
the quality of care is the absolute lowest of the low?
Hmm.
Well,
Oh,
your experience does reflect that, really, doesn't it?
yeah. It's just,
I don't
and
know
I've
whether
heard,
you want to speak about it. That's totally up to you, mate.
what's that?
I don't know whether you wanted to speak about that. That's totally up to you. I'll leave it up to you.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. I could care. I'm 71 years old. Like, I care anymore, you know?
No,
Shit, you
no,
reach.
but you know, like the aspects of what happened to you and how things progressed and you didn't get the
Oh,
help.
man, it was bad. It was bad. I'm not
Right,
alone.
give it just a brief outline, mate. You may as well.
Yeah,
So,
one.
obviously, you're
Go on.
going to be here regularly, so people need to get to know you a little bit, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. They'll know me. I'm a good guy. I just don't, I'm just setting my
Come on,
ways.
right?
That's
You
all.
don't even have to say that. People can see that. But
Yeah.
it'd be nice to explain what happened with your injury.
With who?
Your injury.
Mm. Well, I was working for a heating cooling place. Like I said, I do boilers, steam boilers, all that. I do commercial and residential boilers, big, huge ones, just as big as a house. They got bigger ones than that, called commercials. I mean, industrial. Anyway, I was working for this lady. That she called up. It was a complex, an apartment complex, and I worked on all her furnaces. And I got done, and I parked my vehicle. And the street that I was on had a curve, a 90-degree curve to it. And I walked in the street and I looked both ways as I was going past the back of my vehicle. And I started walking. And all of a sudden, I heard some guy say, "Watch." And that's all I heard. Bang, I got hit by a car. Car hit me at 35 miles an hour. And it was only a 15-mile-an-hour zone, speeding zone. And what had happened was, what I found out later on, I have pictures of it too. The guy had a peek hole. His windows were all frosted up, and he was in a rush. So he didn't see me.
I know exactly the scenario.
So when he
They
hit
just
me,
got a little square. They think they're going to be able to see everything,
yep,
deal
he
with the
didn't.
road, and you know, bigger roads, bigger cars. I couldn't. I mean, I've been hit by a car when I was younger, kind of bounced off it, but British cars then, they were tiny. It was like a, you know, a little Hillman Imp or whatever it was. You know, I probably did more damage to the car, but in the States, your cars are minimum 2 tons, aren't they?
Yeah. Well,
They're
my head hit
fucking
the
huge,
windshield.
aren't they?
Yeah. Well, my head hit the windshield. I mean, they told me I looked like Superman flying off the hood. Then he
Like
stopped.
Superman. Come on, right?
Yeah, they told me. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
I know what you mean though, because I said I've been bumped by a car, yeah, and it was
Mhm.
my own fucking fault, yeah. But I ran out into the road because I had a few pound notes in my hand because I'd just done me bloody soda siphon scam at the off license, yeah. So me and my boys were happy, but I bumped off this little car, and it, you know, it's a little Hillman Imp, tiny. But your thing, it'd be equivalent to being hit by a van in our country because the weight's similar, isn't it? You know, like
Yeah.
what type of car was it? Just out of interest, I know in the essential, but you know, huge, aren't they?
Oh yeah. Well, I thought I got away with it. I did. They fixed my right knee, my meniscus, they call it. A piece of muscle between the bones of your knee was ripped, and they sewed that together after a year and a half waiting. And then the car was a mess. I mean, I destroyed that car. I mean, I'm big bone. I'm huge. There's no doubt. Not fat, huge. And 2 years later, I started feeling something in my hip, my knee. I knew exactly what it was, arthritis, where I got hit by the car. And to this day, VA never fixed me, never touched me. Always
Because
the
they're
excuse.
responsible for all your medical care, aren't they?
Yep, yep. But never
You
did
know,
nothing for
because
it.
you've been in the forces, you
Hmm.
served your country,
Yep,
and they're responsible for all your medical care thereafter.
yep.
Whether it's a car crash, a bump in the road, or you've been hit by a car, or you fell out of an helicopter, they're responsible, aren't they?
Right. That's right. That's part of the joining up in the military. That was part of the agreement. They
Yeah,
break their
that's part
contract.
of your payment, isn't it?
Yep,
For
but
what
they
you
broke the
did.
contract.
All
But
them fucking long times, traveling between places, being bored.
if you go on
having to
YouTube,
work at stupid hours, yeah,
yeah,
having to, sometimes you would put fucking 24 hours in, don't care who you are, and then the next day it's, oh, well, you can rest, we haven't got much on today, something ain't start until such and such, 0600 tomorrow, blah blah blah, but yet there's so much noise and bullshit around you, you can't rest. It's almost as if you're going a continuation, isn't it?
right.
It's a bit like doing YouTube and getting a bit of sleep here and there. That's what it's like, isn't it? And you served, you did whatever was asked, went wherever, front line don't matter. Yeah? You helped keep men on the front line.
Yeah, I was there.
That is it. Yeah? Every man is important.
Well, they came out with an honorable discharge, good conduct medal, extra
Exactly.
infantry badge. Yeah, I had medals like you don't believe, but it didn't help me out. But I will tell you this much: if people don't believe me about VA hospitals, go to any VA hospital on YouTube. Look under veterans who are mad about VA. You will see the symbol of the
Oh, you
VA
find hundreds
hospital.
of thousands of them, won't you?
Oh yeah, you'll find a lot of it. But the key secret is that if you can go to a VA where they speak, oh, the veterans are taken care of so nicely, go to their channel, go to their comments, or try to write something. It says comments are shut off. They don't want the American people to read about us veterans, how bad we're being treated. Because a lot of veterans are putting it on there. Veterans ain't worth a shit. So they stop comments on that. So you can't put it in any VA announcement when they're talking on YouTube because of that. They stopped
Yeah,
it.
it's they're just trying to block the real story coming out.
Right.
It's out there, but they're just trying to damage limitation, isn't it?
Well, this was going to happen to your private care system over here in
Yeah.
America. It's going to happen here.
They're trying to do all kinds of crap here with our NHS. They're trying to, mess with that, and through the back door. A lot of people think it's always going to be like that. Well, they're trying to plan something else. Where things are a bit different than the way they are now. People often take things for granted, and they take things for granted, thinking things are always going to be the same. But I think we're very lucky in our country. I mean, I was involved in a stream last year. It was a boxing channel, and what it was is one of the people had a little 18-month-old kid, little toddler, and he'd ended up in hospital with a virus, and he was in hospital for a month, and they come with him with a bill. Now tell her he's in hospital for 10 days the first time. They come with him a bill, it was over 28 grand or something daft, and that was actually pretty cheap, and he'd been there 10 days anyway. They came up with the bill and said he can't stay any further unless this bill's paid. Well, not everyone's going to have 28.5 grand or whatever it was. The bill was produced, blah blah blah, people decided to come together and they did a continuous live stream.
Good.
And got the money for the bill. The kid stayed getting the treatment, in and out of hospital he was. But then it continued. They ended up coming back again with another one, and he was getting just an odd injection here and there. It was hardly anything. He's like an outpatient getting injections, yeah, and a checkup. That's what it was towards the latter. Anyway, more money got added on. It ended up where, it's close to like 50,000. Anyway, the people come together in all the different time zones, and admins for the channel, and people raised money, and they raised over $55,000 to pay these bills. Yeah, everybody put the bit in. I put my bit in, and just loads of different people, from all different time zones. So it was continuous, and it was bit by bit, and parents were crying over it. They couldn't believe it. But they were actually, the father was a regular on the channel, and all the rest of it. Real good guy, you know, just drops in a position. He had work, but it wasn't a proper job for long, you know, not a full hours contract or anything like that. But he was trying, you know what I mean? And you knew he was a good guy. You know, he wasn't interested in all the bullshit that goes on, you know. And he didn't ask nothing like that. Everyone volunteered and they did that. And yeah, raised all that money and paid them bills, and the kid's okay now. But that's how kind of money orientated and vicious your you know, your medical services and you know, all that are. It's all commercial and it's about the money, isn't it?
It is.
The rest
America,
of it,
well, America itself is a corporation. Just the
yeah,
name,
yeah,
America's.
of course,
Now,
yeah.
when you did hit on something that I did forget to mention. In America, right, not right now, but it's going to happen. When the government takes control of your free health care, universal health care, here's how this is going to work. If you take more from the government health care than what you gave back to them, you're dead. They'll stop everything, just like that little kid. They don't care. They'll stop payment on it. Regardless if you need continuous help or not, the government will stop it. So this free universal health care is not going to be worth a damn. So if
No,
you,
they make out the VA stuff is, you know, supporting the veterans and top draw, but really it's probably all the dregs of doctors and things like that had lost jobs in the other sector, innit?
yeah, well, these
You know,
doctors,
like the rubbish.
well, I'll tell you about our doctors. You cannot sue a doctor there. If they feel like cutting your right leg when you need your left leg, excuse the expression when I say this, you can't sue them. You have to go to federal court. Well, federal court's not going to fight among itself. These same doctors don't go to the VA hospital to get repaired or get fixed. They go to a private care doctors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just vicious. There's no accountability for what they do, so they can treat you any way they want to. If you get out of hand, they'll call security that's in the hospital and make it look like you're the troublemaker, even though they didn't fix you properly. It's a big game. There is
Because,
more
like, you know,
theft.
like in your circumstance where you had them issues that kind of, you know, they didn't happen in service, but still, they didn't happen in service. But it's like they were serious enough to really sort of start affecting your life in a big way, and they probably deep down think that they shouldn't have to be dealing with that, even though it's in the contract that they do.
Yeah.
It's almost as if I bet they think, oh well, it didn't happen here or it didn't happen there. I think a lot of them will go along with what they think. Yeah,
Hmm.
they think's right, not what the rules are and what's stipulated when you served, or you know what your medical contract is. I guess you do get a medical contract, yeah.
Yeah, well, what it is, the government tells the doctors what to do. Even though the doctors knows it's wrong, they'll still do it because they don't want to lose their job. Now, the bad thing about it, have you ever called up on a device that didn't work and you call the company up and instead of speaking your language, they're speaking Hindu or whatever and you can't understand their speaking? Did it ever happen to you before? Customer service? You call up customer service and they're not speaking your language. You're like, hello? And you're having a difficult talking back and forth. Well, this is what we have in our VA hospitals. My doctor, I don't even understand her because she's Hindu. I got to ask my wife if she can understand her. This is my primary care physician. We have no American doctors here hardly at all anymore.
Your number one doctor.
Yeah, it's my number one doctor. I can hardly ever.
No, but don't they work in the paid, like, you know what I mean, the high paid sector?
I don't understand what you mean.
Well, the American doctors, where have they gone?
I don't know. I don't know. If I told you, I'd be lying to you. But I will tell you this much. One day I walked in to my primary care doctor, the one that talks Hindu. She
Yeah.
says, "How you doing, Mr. Wrights?" And I said, "They're doing real good, you know." Says, "Good." And I said, "Ditto" to her. Ditto. She
Yeah.
turned around and looked at me mean. She said, "What did you say?" And I said, "Ditto." She didn't know what it was. I think she
Right.
thought I said dildo because
Right. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
because she
I
didn't
get you.
understand my language.
Yeah. Play on words a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. And I said, and I had explained to her what ditto
Mm.
meant, like right back at you. The
It
same thing you
means the
told me, I'm
same,
telling you.
doesn't it?
Yeah. And she just, well, she was upset at that for a minute, you know.
So
So
she's
that's, I
gone.
think,
She's used that and gone up on a high horse. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So this is the kind of communications we have at VA. We got a lot of illegal, not illegal, but immigrants come in that take our American doctors' places. Now we're also guinea pigs. They get these people that
Oh
come in.
God, that's been proven many times, hasn't it?
Yeah, they get doctors, learning
Sometimes
doctors.
absolutely savagely proven.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They don't care.
Unbelievable. Some of them stories, from way back.
Hmm.
What was it? The syphilis one or something?
Well, the one I had, they have these doctors that come, the resident doctors. They're not doctors yet, but they got to learn, how to do things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're the guinea pigs. The problem is the main doctor who has a license is not behind them watching what they do. So if they do a misdiagnostic to you, who cares? Nobody's responsible because she's a trainee. She's under the federal law, statutory
See, they have
immunity.
this in the UK, teaching hospitals, but I must admit it's done reasonably well. But I could imagine that situation done badly is awful for the patient.
Oh, it's
I
bad.
must admit, in the UK, I've had that experience. Oh, do you mind if someone comes in on this consultation or?
No, I don't care. Don't come on up. More the merrier. I don't care.
No, no. Do you know what I mean? That's what they ask you in the UK
Oh,
when you're in these teaching hospitals, blah
oh
blah
yeah.
blah, and
Yeah.
often it is done quite well, to be honest. But I can imagine if it was done badly, and there was like some kind of communications issue as well,
Mhm.
you would start getting angry, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah.
Because you're
Now,
not getting what you deserve and what you've earned, and you're being left in pain
yeah.
or in a situation where you can't do your work.
Well,
It's screwed up in it, right? So
the
fucking hell.
the problem is with that is that I waste my time, my money, and I get nothing out of it. Nothing out of it at all. You know what I mean? So I just give you a thumbs up. Um, there's nothing's fixed. It's just a temporary fix with them. Everything's a temporary fix. But yet they say the problem is they need more money and more doctors. Well, you can't even fix the problem as it is now. You want more money, more doctors? They don't care because
Yeah,
they get
because
unlimited money.
that
People
should
believe
be
them.
reflected on you. They should do some kind of survey where people who are receiving the service, like yourself, should be some kind of service where they click online and they go through maybe 20 questions quickly with your response. Maybe 3 or 4 answer ones or ones where you can put your own answer and get a proper reflection. But the thing is, they won't do that, will they?
No, well, they got a comment box. As soon as you put it in the box, they throw it in the garbage.
Of course.
That's what they do.
Yeah, yeah. But they
Hmm.
have to do that to show.
Yep.
It's a
And I went through
show
the chain
thing,
of
isn't it?
command.
It's a
Well,
show
I went.
thing. Oh, we're doing it.
Mm,
We're regulating ourselves. We're getting feedback from the patients and the veterans,
mm.
blah blah blah, to improve our service. That's all showy for the people that may come and have a look. But it's
Well,
all bullshit, isn't it?
it is. I went through the chain of command too. I went through the lowest chain all the way up to the president. Didn't
Don't
get
surprise
nothing out
me.
of it. Nothing.
This is rights, ladies and gentlemen. Rights for vets. Straight up to the fucking president, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it though, isn't it? If you don't feel like you're getting an answer, you got to go higher, ain't you?
Yeah. I went through the chain.
They put you through all the bureaucracy. They kind of like hope you're gonna burn out, don't they? with stuff
Well, they
like that.
don't.
How long was that taking?
What's that?
How long was that process taking?
How long was I can't? You're failing out on me.
How long was that process taking?
Oh, that took me for a year and a half to do all that through the chain of command.
Yeah,
Yeah, a
that's
year
what
and
I'm
a
saying.
half.
They try and burn you out, don't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So you get
Well,
bored of it and then all the rest of it.
that's why I'm trying to tell people to wake up now, because I went through the process and I did everything correctly. You know what I mean? And I've seen it with my grandparents when they retired. My grandfather worked for a factory almost 30 years, and the factory left purposely. They just shut down and moved to a different state. Well, he lost all his retirement pay because
He lost all of his pension.
yep, all he got was his Social Security, and the only reason he lives is because of my dad. My dad helped him out. So I remembered that, and I said, I don't want that to happen to me, and I'll be damned if it didn't happen to me, almost, because they
How
don't
can they
want.
do that? In the UK, they're officially not able to do that, but there's a few that have tried it, run off with all the pension funds and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Maxwell, you know him who got killed on the yacht?
Yeah, remember that.
Robert Maxwell, yeah?
Hmm.
He was doing that. He took the pension money of a whole organisation, big in the UK, ended up getting levelled out in the end. That's Ghislaine Maxwell's dad, yeah?
Hmm.
Well,
Well,
that he was running off with the money and done a load of bad investments, etc. And he was doing that. Other people have tried doing it as well. It's funny how it's usually a retail organisation with lots of staff. Obviously a bigger pot, isn't it? But anyway, in the UK, that's kind of protected to a certain degree. But that in the US, how can they get fucking away with that?
because he went out of state. That's why. When you go out of
Went
state,
out of state.
yeah. Instead of Michigan, they went to Ohio and restarted up again. So that's like
Yeah, that's
loophole.
like dissolving the company, starting again. Yeah,
Hmm.
they do that in the UK, but they do protect pension money.
Not here. Not here.
Wow,
I'll tell you another
staggering.
scam. Well, it's terrible here. I'm telling you, they don't want people to retire. They don't. All they want you to do is be a little working bee and then die. That's it. That's it. That's all they want. If you can't produce, we don't want you, and that's all it's going to be. It's always been that way. Just that now they're starting to show their teeth. You know what I'm saying? With the government, and everything I
King
say is true,
Doyle.
people. Everything I say, people, is true. I'm not lying to you. I have nothing to gain by lying to you.
No, listen, mate, come on, you have
Yeah.
to say that.
Well, I'm just
Listen,
saying. It's just
no, you don't have to say that because simply, you know what I mean. I know you're straight as out and on the button, but no, to lose your pension like that. You see, they stop and start. They rebrand and all the rest of it in the UK and dissolve one company, start another. But the pension money normally goes into some kind of thing with the Inland Revenue as it grows and gets put in, so it kind of gets protected. But a lot of them try it, and some must get away with it here and there, run off with the money in another country, Africa or something daft. But it's a bit surprising in the US they still get away with shit like that.
well, they got a thing going on now. What a scam this is. In the United States, I always say, well, they gave out $1,000 or $1,000, excuse me, $1 trillion of infrastructure bill. That's what they call it. Now, it's not just one bill; it's bills in a bill that we don't know about. In other words, they have the word infrastructure. Wow, it sounds good, but there's other bills in that bill that you don't know about. What they mean by they're going to do infrastructure means that they're just going to pay off the union people, not the small shop, the mom and pop shops, just the unions. And the reason why they do that is because when election time comes, the unions donate or give them money, millions of money to campaign. So they're washing hands both back and forth. So when you hear the word infrastructure, that means just unions, the big CEOs, the corporates. It's not the workers. It's just the big corporates. So it's a big scam, is what it is. It's laundering your money is what it is. When they passed that $1 trillion infrastructure bill, they never touched anything around here in Michigan, where I've at. Nothing changed. In fact, it even got worse. So it's all a dog and pony show.
Cheeky bastard.
Yeah, well, it's getting bad over here. And I'll tell you something. Since a lot of countries are dependent on our dollar, when we go down, everybody goes, "Oh, I want to ask you something.
Cool.
I heard about that CCTV in Women's John's McDonald's
So the CCTV where?
in the John's in McDonald's John's. They
Oh
got
yeah. That it was first. It was news to me when that was said that night.
I still can't get over that.
It was news to me. I didn't know about it until then. I didn't mention it. That one didn't come from me unusually. We've had a few conversations about the Johns, haven't we?
Yeah, we sure did.
In the past. Jeez, I ain't gonna go into that, guys. Trust me. We'll be here forever. But
Wow.
anyway, yeah, I didn't know about that one. Anybody can comment on CCTV being put in McDonald's toilets and Weatherspoons? Okay, anybody heard about that one? Apparently that's what's happening now. They've got license to do that. Weatherspoons and McDonald's toilets, for God's sake. I mean, really? That came out on the stream the other night and you were shocked, weren't you?
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. That's
I
going to
was.
come over. Mm-hmm.
But I honestly thought it was some kind of, some kind of bloody idiot, making it up, one of them false stories, yeah?
Yeah, I did too at first.
It doesn't seem like that would get passed anywhere. The UK, right? For its wrongs, it does have a few kind of rights in some ways. If they summit a certain way, they make sure type thing, and that ain't always good for you. Sometimes it is, but that one, I don't know. I just didn't see who passed that. Go on, old cereal filler goes in the bogs, pulls out his 7-inch, yeah? You know what I mean? Flipping, and there's cameras in there, come on. He's in Witherspoons, pissing away his free pint that he gets with his meal, yeah? Goes in there, there's cameras as you stand at the urinal. Or you go in with your little daughter or your son, and you've got to lift your son up to the urinal or something like that. Or he drops his trousers around his ankles while he's having a piss into the cubicle. And then you come out and you're pulling him up, zipping him up, washing his hands and all that. He's like 5-6 years old. Fucking disgusting, man. As I think about that, it gets me angry. Think about the times, when I took my son in and, my niece, my nephew, whatever. And it's like, what?
I'll get a spray can on it. I agree with the one guy said, put a spray can on that damn lens. I don't care. I also heard in UK, and I got a video on that. Do you have a Channel 4 over there on TV?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, it's quite a wide cosmopolitan channel. I'll give it that.
Oh, yeah.
But we do, yeah.
They put it on YouTube that a guy that had a concert. I don't know the guy's name. I got it on my stream. He didn't know. I did have it out there. They wouldn't let me allow it to put it out there. But I'll put it in the back room. I'll let you see it. But anyway, the guy was a transgender. He was on stage and he ripped his whole clothes off in front of the TV camera. Showed everything, playing a piano.
Oh, you said about that as well, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You're in touch with our bloody toilets more than flipping crazy stuff that we are. I am. God. Do you know stuff like that? It's phenomenal, isn't it? How the hell?
On TV?
I said it's cosmetic. Do you know they have a lot of transsexual different bits and pieces on there? It is quite varied, but I didn't expect that.
Yeah. Well, people complain about it, but not the news, not the government. And that reminds me, your parliament, just like our government, do they have CCTV cameras in their bathroom in parliament? So they can watch your parliament people take a pee and take a poo or whatever? It's a double standard is what it is.
No, it's not.
All control. This is what I'm saying.
Look at Doyle. A bloke told me, another dealer, he'd some of the velvet rope, cordoning off the plebs off. He put the or something. What I can't really know what that says. Of the velvet rope to cordon off the plebs off, did Maxwell. So he had a rope put, and then velvet ropes between the silver stands to cordon off the plebs. So he was some, and the rest of us are plebs. That is how it is viewed in our country. I know that.
Wow.
They do. They view they want to get away with when there was social mobilisation, the middle classes. Well, people started buying the houses, things like that. They hated that because people then had equity money to do businesses to try and move up through, not so much the classes, but move up financially. Have more buying power, more freedom, all the rest of it. And the upper classes and the snobs didn't like that. And they're trying to change that now and take us back. And it always has been. They've always wanted it, them and us. You know, you know, if you're born there, what is it, like a hooray Henry, they used to call them. Hooray! They'd be down, London or Oxford, whatever. Hey, come on, let's have a drink. Hurrah! Like the world's their oyster and all the rest of it, and they're spending daddy's money, and it's like, they always have the view that everyone else is below them, and that's that public school set. The ones that go through that system often become abusers as well because they get abused in there. They often turn a bit funny sexually because there is a culture of it in those places. They're going through paid. Usually, a company that daddy works for will pick up the bill.
Hmm.
For whatever reason, because he's going to be lined up to be someone in that company, and it's like a tax break or done through costs somehow to get this, these fees paid because he's got a contract when he's like 10 years old to work for fucking ICI. Yeah?
Yep.
But
Yep.
he's 10 years old.
Yep.
But what it is, they said they saw him, they saw that he had something in him with his science results. So they'll pay for the exceptional science results, yeah? Pay a teacher off or whatever assessor to make out he's absolutely super talented. I know what I'm talking about is actually a real case. Make out he's super talented, and then between this private school and going to say Oxford or Cambridge or wherever, before he enters this company, he's under contract from this big company ICI, and in the interim bit, they fake his age so he can remain. And in fact, he was 2 years older than he was, but they said he was a bit younger, just so he could stay in this certain spot where it was all paid for. Next thing you know, boom, he's the correct age again at the same place, and within a year, he's director of research.
Wow.
Director of fucking research. You've been to university. Sorry, you've been to public school from 10 to 18, it was. And then in the interim, you did 1 year at Cambridge, and then you were put into Oxford. Whilst you were serving there, you ended up becoming the fucking director of research. Yeah.
Well, I hate to say this, and I'm probably going to get some people mad about this. But first of all, I'm going to say one thing, and then I'll say the people are going to get aggravated about this. But I'm going to say it anyway. I know me. In our schools right now, especially in Illinois, Chicago, you heard of that before, haven't you?
Yeah.
Chicago. Okay. After school, the parents are actually taking their kids to satanic school, teaching the word of the devil, and you can look that up under YouTube. Chicago, Illinois, satanic teachings in schools. They're teaching our kids that now.
Right.
It's amazing. Now, the second thing, this was going to be people aggravated, and that's, I don't care. One time, colleges used to be fantastic. We needed doctors, lawyers, everything, and they turned out well. Now they're teaching our kids how to be woke, how to be anti American, how to screw the American people. These kids come out to be dummies. They don't know nothing else. Half of them can't even make change for $1. These kids that come out of college. Yes, they have a degree, but that's all they have is a degree. They couldn't learn how to survive if they had to, because all I know is one field. And it's a shame what's going on with the colleges right now. They don't teach the good math, the history, the English. They teach them to be woke, to speak proper English, birther instead of mother. And it's a shame what our universities do. I wouldn't pay my kid to go to the damn college, Harvard or Oxford. You know, it's
I mean,
ridiculous.
yes, you can learn stuff and, you know, all the rest of it. But really, a lot of them, like you say, if they ain't got a route to go to a job, a lot of them aren't getting jobs. And also, they've got no experience. And it's funny how that, like, it's only a certain percentage of it, about 20%, end up in the field and the employment they think they were going for. About 20%, it isn't meant much. I mean, my sister's absolutely highly qualified. She did a lot of open universities during the night and all the rest of it. She highly qualified in lots of fields, but getting a job in the field she wanted just never happened until 3 years before the end of her life. You know, she ended up with cancer. You know, she passed away.
Oh, my
But
apologies.
3 years before the end of her life is when, you know, she was like fucking 41 when she got her dream job. 41. She qualified in all these other areas. In the meantime, charity, finance, accounting, law, you know, all these other things, yeah? You know, she was going into court and defending mothers, listen to this, for a fucking TV license. Because
Huh?
the government were trying to say they put them in prison for not having a TV license, scaring these women to death, single mothers, telling them they had a detector van outside when it doesn't even exist, a detector van, and you know, just using normal snooping skills. These blokes were coming in and were scaring the women and saying they get £1,000 fine or they get 10 weeks in prison for not having a TV license.
I
And
heard
my
about that.
sister, yeah, my sister was working for a charity that actually got involved in fighting that, and she'd go into court as a representative and fight that. Now, some people say, "Oh, well, is it an important thing?" Well, listen, when a woman with 2 kids on her own, scared to death about a big bill or being put in prison, because that's what they said they're doing, yeah, of course they're going to be scared. So to take that worry away from someone, my sister thought it was worthwhile, and she was doing that for quite some time. And the thing with the rent and the debt collectors that, you know, would double and treble a bill for 2 goddamn visits outside the house, you know, for something daft like a car parking fine. You know, she was fighting a lot of that and she gained a lot of experience. And then in the end, she went and got a dream job. But only fortunately, the cancer came back, unfortunately. But, you know, that was after all that qualification. She was qualified to do that work when she was 21. It wasn't until she was 40 fucking 1. I know she did other things in between, but that ain't the point. She was trying to get that dream job all that time. But do you know what actually helped to get the dream job?
What's that?
Criminals.
Wow.
Crime. People who are doing, you know, nasty crime. Not, you know, what's it, a bit of drugs, bit of this, bit of that. You know, it wasn't that. It was people smugglers. The people smugglers in the Vietnamese gangs. It was dealing with them. She got involved with that. Looking for their money. Yeah. Especially after when 50 odd women, children, men were found suffocated in the back of a lorry. in Essex, in the UK, all dead. And yeah, she got involved. She got offered a job simply because of that. That's how she got a dream job in the end.
Bless her heart there. Well,
You, yeah, go
over
on.
here, over here in America, we got so many people that are going to college that we're losing our trades. People don't know how to do plumbing properly, heating, electrical. They don't know how to do masonry, engineering. We're losing a lot of trades over here, and they're dying for trades. But they want people to go to school. Now, in World War II, when the men went off to war, the women had to work in the factories to take the place of the men that went to war. Well, these women would learn a trade on the job training. They don't do that anymore. They want you to go to school to learn it. Well, because of it, people can't afford going to school. So therefore, we're losing our trade sections now.
Yeah, it's like they don't do it the same as used to. I mean, in the UK, they do it where you go to college and then you qualify on site a bit, and in the college as well, it's like a double thing, but you still ain't got the full experience of the job. And
Hmm.
I believe you should be able to experience the job you're thinking of doing before you do anything. You should do a couple of weeks of that job with someone to see whether you goddamn like it or not. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because, at the end of the day, they're expecting people to qualify in a certain area and all the rest of it, and then do a couple of years of college, year on site, whatever. And then they don't know what the job's actually like. So it's like going blind, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah,
They
it
think
is.
that job's okay, but I believe they should do at least 2 weeks or a month of that job to see whether it suits them or not anyway, before they even go and do one day at college,
Yeah, I
and
wish that.
then see if it's because a lot are dropping out, aren't they?
Oh yeah, yeah, they are.
And
It's
that's the
hard.
way I believe to slow down the dropouts and all that. I've got a couple of nephews that are doing things at the moment, apprenticeships and whatnot, and my son's done his. He's got a second interview on a really good job, um, and he's worked hard to get his qualifications and his grade because he was dyslexic originally, so it's hard for him to come through. But I don't think they should waste time on people or get them doing something when they don't know what the actual job is like. You know, some people they don't really know what they're going to be like at heights, but they say, "Oh, I want to do this job fitting windows or whatever it is," and they get up bloody 2 stories on the scaffold or something like that, and they're shitting themselves. They can't even take a step. So you need to know whether you can actually perform or whether you could work in that environment. Yeah, you're not going to know the trade, but you work with someone for a month just to see whether you get on with it. The hours, everything, the whole thing. Because I think there's so many that drop out, it's unbelievable. The dropout rate is probably 50%, isn't it?
Oh, easily, yeah. Well, when I went to college and I didn't have a hands-on. I
I'm
was
listening, right? So I've just got to take a pee.
okay. Go on.
Right.
I'll talk to people out here then. When I went to college, it wasn't hands-on as much. I mean, they had some equipment there, but the equipment was old. Parts were missing. Wires were missing. Half the meters, electric meters didn't work right. It was a bunch of bull. Anyway, I did manage to graduate in 2 years, and then I went, like I said, 2 years of trade school. Well, I quit my original job and I went for heating and cooling. But no one wanted to hire me because I didn't have the practical experience. So I lied about my application. I told them I was at a different state and I came to this state and I want to learn. Well, I was lucky they didn't check on my qualifications. If they had, they would have noticed that the name I put on it was fake. But anyway, I was hired and it was true. I didn't know shit and no one wanted to teach me. I was the worst serviceman for 5 years. In fact, when the customers call, say, I don't want that fat man with the mustache over here until 5 years, until I started realizing what was going on. There's a lot to heating and cooling. I've always wanted to know as a kid, how is it that you can have a hot room and you can cool it down? It's amazing how it works. But anyway, after 5 years, I started accelerating, started learning more and more and more. and people started calling me up purposely just to go to their house. But for the first 5 years, no, ain't nobody wanted me, and I can't blame them. I blew compressors, I burned linoleum floors, it just you name it. I just oh geez, what a mess. Didn't know the right freons, the right pressures for the freons. Put on the air conditioning. Oh man, what a mess. But after 5 years, yeah, I accelerated and I stuck with it. I didn't give up on it. No, I'm not the best serviceman, but I'm one of the best. And I'll figure just about anything out. And if I can't, I'll figure it out. I'll call somebody who does know so I can learn more. There's always something new. Not every furnace is the same, or boiler, or air conditioning. They're all different. And with this new Freon that came out now with that 410A, which replaced the R22, the central air, it's bullshit. They lied to us about that. You don't hear anything about the ozone with the big hole in the atmosphere. It was all bullshit. That's all it was. It's all lies. But that's how they con the American people, just put the fear in you. And if you fear the government, you lost right then and there. Because that's what they're going to do, put fear in you. I don't fear my government. I don't care. You learn this in the military. I thought I had to go to Vietnam, so I was set to go. I was all set. I took that fear away. Said, "Well, I got to go. I got to go." That's all there is to it. And I don't fear my government. What can they do to me? Incarcerate me? Big freaking deal. I'm only here for temporary anyway. The government ain't worth a shit, as far as I'm concerned. The American people are the ones. UK's the ones. Our government's out here to shaft us, not help us. And they're going to use us in any possible way they can. Any possible way. And they'll do it. And it's coming your way, and it's coming hard. And 2023 is when you guys really start seeing it. With that G7 they had over there, the real quiet one that no one knows about. Klaus Schwab is the one that's leading all this stuff right now with the new Green Deal and everything else. And it's all about just taking over your lives and your property. And that's what it is. So basically what it is, the poor is going to suffer. The middle class is going to suffer, but the rich won't. The rich never does. They take from the poor and they give to them. And they con you. Eventually what you're going to have is a one world order where it's going to be communist. Total control over your life. What you can do, when you can do it, how much water you can use, how much electricity you can use. It's all going to be done with fear. This is why they're not teaching kids the right proper way in school right now. They want things to be total chaos. They want your life to be in turmoil. They don't care if a person goes nuts and shoots himself in the head. They don't care if a person freezes to death or starves to death. They don't care if they have money, if they're out in the street shooting up the jab. They don't care about this fentanyl bull. They don't care. As long as it's not them. Too many people in this world is what it is. If they can get rid of cows right now, the meat, because the cows fart, what do you think is going to happen to us? We fart. The same thing they do, methane gas. What do you think they're going to do to us? In this world, we would have enough food. We have enough land to feed people 4 times over, but they don't do it. Always makes excuses. Excuses don't count with me anymore. I want to see results. There's always a solution to a problem. You just got to know the solution. And it's out there. You just got to search for it. The government don't care. As long as they're not affected by it. This is why our government in America put laws to protect themselves. If there's an atomic bomb, guess what? We're done. They're not. They're going to hide in Cheyenne Mountain. All the luxury, all the amenities. I hear you there.
Yeah, mate. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah. It's all yours now.
Yeah, it's the way they're eroding things and things kind of, obviously it's not always clear, but it's more clear to people like yourself. But I think a lot more people have woke up to what's going on, really, aren't they? They kind of realise that things are kind of being reset, and I'm amazed how every single goddamn day for it was so long. They're on about Brexit. Stupid little points about Brexit as well, like stuff to do with, um, you know, the border and post in Ireland. Now, yeah, you know, it's something that needed dealing with, blah blah blah, but they put so much emphasis on that. You know, everybody knew that it wouldn't. You know, it was just that they were honing in on that point for some daft reason. You know, it wasn't a huge thing, and at the time, on purpose, I believe, because I was doing a bit of business where stuff was getting sent to Ireland. At the time, I believe they were messing up some of the post on purpose. Yeah, it sounds a bit petty. It sounds a bit, you know, I know what it sounds like because I discussed it with some other people. But let me tell you, I was sending stuff to Ireland, all different parts, north and south. And let me tell you, admittedly, some of it had batteries in its power tools, yes, some of it didn't. But I think I wouldn't send in loads and loads of stuff there, but you know, I think it might have been, say, out of 10 orders, 15 orders, yeah, I'd lose like 5, that much. And you know, some of them orders were power drill with 2 batteries in a case. It was all packed correctly, documented correctly, duties paid, everything beforehand. And I lost about 5 lots of stuff. Some were just individual things, but yeah, really, really stupid. And that was at the time when they're putting so much emphasis on the border. And then they're going on about Brexit every single day, and then stopped. You never heard it. It was the COVID thing. I'm not going to go on too much about that, but yeah, it went on to that. And that
Yeah,
was the
don't
bloody thing you never bloody stop hearing about.
don't say nothing about that because they'll kick you out. You know that right off the bat.
Exactly, mate. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah, you never heard the end of that one. And then basically, one day, boom, you never start hearing about that anymore. They're on about other stuff, yeah, to do with, you know, immigration, this, that. You don't even hear that other thing talked about hardly. And it's like, that's a process being done in front of us. Because it's the way it stops, isn't it? The way
Yeah.
it stops completely. Real news doesn't stop like that, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, it does not.
You know what I mean? Like real stories don't stop, and then the next one can start, and that's all you're hearing about the next one. You know, they'd be going on together, wouldn't they? And you know, you'd hear a bit of this, or you hear a bit of that, or this had happened, that had happened. Nah, the way they stop and start, to me, that's false. I'd like to see what anyone's comments were about that, what they think, but I believe that, I mean, it's not, it, to me, it shows there's some kind of process happening. You know, the way they're owning on a stupid thing, and then something else is going on, and it goes on constantly for bloody 2 years, and then you don't hear a thing about it. Then the next thing. And it's like the other thing hasn't been dealt with, the Brexit thing. And I'm glad that bloody Truss isn't in, because they were rubbing their hands in Europe when the likes of her and the people she'd select were going to be doing deals about stuff to do with that in Europe. They were rubbing their hands, them bigwigs over there, you know, the ones that would be doing deals and trying to get their way. Because that's all it is. All these things is about who can stamp on the floor loudest, who can do things to get their own way. That's really what it's about, isn't it?
Hmm.
When they
Yep.
do these deals and that, it's like what they can do to get their way. And it's like, it seems really minor, and it seems like really that's what it is. I've learned that, you know, a lot of these, it's about how you can bullshit and how much you can stamp on the floor and throw your toys out of the pram to get your way when doing these deals, and that is really what it is. And of course, above it all, they're following some kind of narrative. Maybe they don't all know, but yet they've got their bit they've got to follow. Yeah.
Well, excuse me. There's one thing that really aggravates me. I'm surprised about people. If you buy a car or buy a home, you just don't move into it. You look into it. You find out what the taxes are, how bad the shape of the home is, if the plumbing's okay, everything. You check everything out. You check your car out. What kind of car is it? 4 cylinder, 6 cylinder, 8 cylinder? How good a gas it is? You find documentation, in other words. But yet these politicians, when they're out there, they're actors. Is what they are. They can sit there
Yeah.
and they can lie to you with no documentation, and people believe it. Oh my God, he did what? Oh, with no documentation at all. Oh my God, you got a child molester, no, and he's running for senator? No way. We got to vote no for that guy. But no documentation. Oh no, believe what he says. Just like the sky's falling. The Green New Deal. Nothing really shows anything about this. But everybody, oh my God, we got to have an EV car. We got to save the planet. I think what we need is a good nuke in this world to wake us up. That would definitely wake us up.
Well,
I
there's
hate to say
been
it,
talk about that, isn't there? Even there.
Yeah, it's just amazing how these people are to wake them up. It might take something like that or a good meter coming down to earth, to wake people up because a lot of people out there are dummy. They're stupid, no common sense.
Oh yeah, I said before about the chips. They can rely on a certain percentage of the population just walking in like a herd of sheep. Because that's what happens, isn't it? They're all
Yeah.
sheep. A big majority of them, and that's what they rely on for many years, aren't they?
Excuse me, friend. Can you put some of the comments out on up? I want to see what these people. The people are saying something. I just keep seeing them moving. I can't see what they're saying.
Sorry,
Let's see. Uh,
somebody's saying something in the chat.
no, your chat. You just put their name on there and post it on your screen here. You got
What,
P
put my
Doyle.
name on?
Yeah, it's you're on live, right? I'm
Yeah.
not. Yeah, okay. Yeah, put your cursor on their name. Press that one time, and you'll see a name
Oh
pop
yeah,
up.
yeah. What
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
see?
Let's see what they got saying here. Chat debaters, but older.
Yeah, there's a lot of good comments.
Yeah, that's what I want to see here.
I'll go through them
Trump's
quickly.
view on global warming. Trump's. Plus, he didn't do.
But yeah, due diligence, you've got
Yeah.
to do that in everything, haven't you? Really, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like, what the hell?
He's
People
right.
that don't do that, they're just dummies, aren't they? It's like, but often these people that do surveys, things like that, they're charged some silly money. I mean, I am was involved in building trade and unqualified surveyor. Yeah, the prices they're not cheap, and a lot of people think they can have a look at a place and make a decision. But there's lots of things which you can't necessarily see, or unless you get up on the roof, etc., and have a real good look, because a lot of the properties, new builds, are really badly finished because the trades don't give a shit, and there's not what we used to have as a clerk of works, or somebody that would be checking the work properly before you signed it off and got paid for it. Yeah. Well, now there's less of them because they don't want to pay them. Yeah. And that means that they get their work signed off on their own word. Yeah. And they mix up the numbers of the addresses of the new build properties as well. So they mix the numbers up. Yeah. So
Yes.
so many different subcontractors are working on, I don't know, 400 houses on this new build estate, and they're doing their bit. And what they'll do is they'll sign off the best work in the best properties and say it was theirs. And often they sign off work that isn't theirs and get paid for it as well. And then especially when they're going to move companies, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
This
that's
is
a
true.
real common one. I know that one for definite. But you know, at the end of the day, the quality's gone as well out of the trades, and they have snagging companies now. I know someone who started one. Snagging companies that go in and pick a property apart. Actually, there's a guy on Instagram that shows it. He's doing basically what my friend's doing, but it's a great thing because if you know about quality and finish and all the rest of it, you know, it's a great thing to go into. You don't need any qualification. You just need to know about finish, trades, and different, different aspects of the building game. And he has made a real good business out of my friend. But there's someone on Instagram that actually shows him pick apart a house over about a minute, and it shows how bad the finish is all over the country.
Well,
Well, I'm just going to say quickly, right?
excuse me.
If anyone wants to support the channel, there's a buy me a coffee link there. That's just to keep things going. It's absolutely nothing to do with me personally. But my StreamYards is about to run out, mate, any minute.
What is?
My StreamYards.
Really?
I've done 20 hours, yeah.
Oh, you got the. Okay. All right.
So
All right.
I'm going to have to end it. If you want to
Okay.
put one up, I can try and get your link quickly.
Yeah, we can do that. If you don't mind.
Do you want to?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, if you just give me time. I'll just got to get everything set up, and I'll put my.
Okay. Do you want to? I'm just thinking how I'm going to get your link. Do you want to put the link in the private chat?
I don't know how to do that. That's the truth. I never did that. I gotta ask
Can you get a
DK.
link to your channel?
Yeah, I never did that before.
Right, hang on, mate. Hang on.
You give me your address, I can do that. I mean, I don't know how to.
Relax. It's okay. It's okay. Because the thing is, I went onto a channel which was exactly like yours, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
Do you
that was
remember that? Yeah, it's only the other week.
that
Right.
was my channel one time until I'll tell you about that later on.
Yeah.
That's my
Right,
old
let's
channel.
just see. I did a quick. I've got to do this. Is it? In fact, I might be better just doing it this way. Come on. I hope I got one of your things here. Damn, I haven't. Because I've been having to delete all my notifications.
I can give you one of my channels on your private.
Yeah, do that then. I've
hold
just
on.
tried searching.
Okay, hold on. It's going to take
Is
me.
it Rights for Vets or Rights for Veterans?
No, Right for Vets. It's got a FO4. Rights for FO4 Vets.
Yeah, okay. It would come up better like this. I've got to deal with it. Right. Okay. Is it the one with 55 subscribers?
I shouldn't have that many. Wow.
14 videos?
No, that's probably my old one. Hold on here.
It's got the flag.
Yeah, I got the flag, but hold on here. Trying to tuck on this dang thing here.
Like this. I want to get the right one.
Okay, it's got 49 subscribers, 121 videos.
Sorry, 49 subscribers.
Yeah, 121 videos. Yeah, I don't want subscribers. I'm trying to get away from them.
Rights for Vets, 11 videos. Did you do things that make you go, wow, our government is taking our rights away faster?
Oh, you're talking about my description?
Yeah, one of your videos.
Okay. One that says, no, the elites want us to try to. Hold on there. That's my last one I made.
Yeah, it's not coming up.
Okay, it says now the elites want us to try to buy the EV cars. Who
Come
can
on.
afford it? I don't know. I just give you my thing here. Hold on, let me do it this way. Bear with me.
God's sake. I'm going to click on this one because it's very close. It's
All you have to do is look on live on your YouTube, and you'll see me come live.
yeah, but I've got to put it in for these guys, haven't I?
No, all you have to do is
I
go on
ain't-
YouTube.
Have you done it now? Is it done?
What's that?
Is it done now then?
No, I got to get off to do it. I got to
That's
get off
what I
here.
mean. I ain't got
Yeah.
much time. I've got to stay on this, you see. Got to get
Yeah.
this shut down. Right, okay. I will.
Look,
I'm
look,
gonna,
look under YouTube. Look under live on top of your
yeah,
settings,
I know that, mate. But
and you'll see me. I'll
I
be on
think I
about.
got it. I think I got it. I got it. I got it. I
Okay,
got it.
I'll be there in
The one
about.
where you're driving around in the car, yeah?
Yeah, that's the one. I believe. Yep, that's the one.
Right, okay. I'm just going to share this, yeah, and
Okay.
we'll take it from there.
All right, I'll meet you
Okay,
in 5
guys.
minutes.
I'm
Give
going to
me 5 or
share
10 minutes.
this. This should be the channel.
Okay, here we go.
All right. Oh,
If not, just look for live. You'll see my flag up there. I'll catch you in a short. I
yeah,
gotta get things started.
just sometimes I don't get a mate very fast.
Okay, I'll catch you in a short. Bye. See you, everybody.
All right, laters, mate. Thank you for your input. Much appreciated. Right then, guys. I'm going to put this up and go over there. Everybody welcome. There we are. If you can get on that quick as you can. All right, guys, yeah? Has everyone got it? Because I've got to shut this down. You can screenshot it anyway. Right, thanks for coming. Appreciate all your help, your input, comments, likes, everything, support. Thank you. I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.